can take it when adults are being racist. But if children, it's now boiling down to children, and you cannot do anything, you cannot report them because they are going to say that they are kids, they are minors, but I know these children knows what they are doing. A child that can know that that I'm a black ass, and a child that can call me a bitch, and a child that can come and tell me that I'm sexy at this old age of mine. Look at your age. Do you understand? It's all shade of wrong.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
So in today's episode, you're going to be reacting to a video of a Nigerian woman who currently works and lives in UK. And she's going to be talking to us about her experience with racism, especially when it comes to children. And her biggest question today is, how do you then deal with cases to do with racism when it is children who are portraying them, right? We have to say that a lot of the times, you normally hear about cases of racism that are happening in America, but today we are going to be hearing from UK, and we have to ask ourselves to what point did our societies get to such levels where children are behaving the way they do, especially towards grown-ups, when there was a time when children were raised to respect their elders. But guys, we don't want to talk a lot. Let's just watch what we prepared for you, and then we come back and talk about it. Let us know your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. Also, let us know if you've ever found yourself in such a similar situation, and what is the remedy towards this brewing problem. Let's watch and then we come back.
Guys, I'm just coming back from work now, and I've understand that this UK system, there's so much racism. I can't even go inside the house. I'm just like sitting outside to like get some air because I'm just kind of traumatized. I know that there's a lot of racism in this UK. You cannot cut it off. People have racism in their hearts. People are racist to you for no reason. They are passing it down. They're passing it down to their children and all, and I cannot understand it. I don't know why kids, you train up your children to be racist to people. I'm just coming back from work now, as you can see, and just for reference purposes, I've like picked my work bag. I'm just sitting outside. This is what I'm wearing. Like, you can see me. This is just me coming from work. And I went to the bus stop to enter my bus. That is the only bus stop I use, and that is the only way I use to go to work. If you followed you've seen my video that I do maybe before or after work, you'll see that it's one route. And I was coming back, I passed that road, and just at the bus stop, I met these 4 children, which I believe they will be between about, say, 9 to 13 years. If my brain, definitely from 9 to 13 years, that is the age of these children. So I saw 4 of them standing at the side of the bus stop. You know the way they build the shade on the bus stop. And I just passed and I went to the other side because I know a particular children like that did something to me last week, which I don't know if it is the same children. So I went to the other side, and two among them walk up to me and they say, "Hey, you, this girl, you look very sexy. Hey, you look sexy, sexy." And I just acted like they were not talking to me. I looked away and they say, I'm talking to you. And I ignored them. Then the other 2 came again after the second, like the first 2 said that to me, and they walked back. And the other 2 came and say, "You, this lady, you are a bitch." They said, "You are a bitch." Like, I know these are kids, but no. No, they say that I'm a bitch, and the same way I swallowed it. I acted like I did not hear what they said. He said, you are a bitch. They keep saying it. And at that point, I'm like, okay, the boss thing, God, please, can this boss just come? Can this boss just come? And the boss immediately came. Remember, these kids are on the bus stop. So one of them wanted to, I just went forward like very fast to the bus because I don't know what is in their head or what they want to do. And one of them was following behind me. And immediately I entered the bus. He went back and they were all standing there. And outside the bus, I was looking at them and they gave me a finger like this. Now, why am I making this video? I'm not making it because of today. It's because this is not the first time. This is not the first time. Last week again, just the way I am dressed, no change. The same jacket. You understand? This is the same jacket, the same trouser. I was walking down from work again, taking this route, and I saw these 4 children again. But I don't want to lie. I don't know if it is these children or they are just different set of children. So these children, 4 of them, but this time they were on a bicycle. I just turned back. I noticed this 4 bicycle is racing so fast behind me. Very fast behind me. And I'm like, why are these people racing this way behind me? And they are coming straight to where I am. So what I did is that I just stood. Like, I just stood still and allowed them. And these 4 children cycled me on the bicycle. They cycled me. I didn't, like, they just blocked me. I cannot go front. I cannot go back. I'm just in the middle of them. Remember, this is not night. This thing is happening in this summer, broad daylight. Adults were passing and all. So, and one of them say, like, the one that is the tallest among them, I don't know if he's the oldest, but he's the tallest. He say, come on, you put up your black ass here. Let me take you home. At that point, my instinct, because these children were all around me, I just took out my phone and started, I want to just start recording because that is the only thing that could come to my mind then. So immediately I brought out my phone. They zoomed off and I went up. This happened just few minutes to this same bus stop. This thing happened today. Now, what am I saying? I don't know how, what is happening. I can take it when adults are being racist. But if children, it's now boiling down to children, and you cannot do anything, you cannot report them because they are going to say that they are kids, they are minors, but I know these children knows what they are doing. A child that can know that I'm a black ass, and a child that can call me a bitch, and a child that can come and tell me that I'm sexy. At this old age of mine, look at your age. Do you understand? It's all shade of wrong. So I've decided there's no way for me to go to work. That is the only way, except I want to go and turn 360 of breakfast to go to work. So I will just put my phone on camera whenever I'm passing through that road to capture all the nonsense, because I have a strong feeling that they will still come again.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the video we just played you. You know, I feel like from the story we just heard, we might not have the full context of the video and whatever was happening, but what was clear is how these kids are behaving is a definite poor reflection on how they were raised. When you look at the parents of these kids, you ask yourself, for children to get to such a point where they are following a grown-up to harass them on the streets, you can already imagine the kind of parental guidance they have. And another thing, I feel like, as you normally say, nobody is born racist, nobody is born with bad behavior. Children, when they are born, they are literally pure. Yeah? It's how they are raised that shapes them into the people they become. And if already there are menace to society at that age, you can imagine what kind of danger they pose to society when they become full-blown grown men, you know. Right, because this woman said that the kids who were harassing her were between the ages of 9 to 13 years told, right? And right now she's just wondering, in such a case where they're such a menace to society to a point where she would wish to report it to the authorities, but she is afraid of even saying anything, because at the end of the day it will be looked at, these are just kids being kids, you know. And I'm asking myself, okay, right now they can get away with it because to be quite honest, even if for me it happened to me, I wouldn't know what to do, because they are kids. At the end of the day, they are kids, and this reflects poorly not only on them but most especially on their upbringing. But a few light years from now, if this is a situation that keeps going on, because for kids to be this volatile, it means their parents share the same views. Because one thing with kids is they emulate what their parents are, and their parents shape them into the type of adults they themselves are, you know. So my biggest question right now is, if it were you, what would you do in this situation, and how would you handle the situation? Because right now, my 2 cent thought on this situation is, other than the racial aspect of it, these are just kids who are being bullies, right? So anyway, we don't even need to talk much about that, but already, as I said, that is the society that we live in today, where children can follow their grown-ups and harass them. I feel like there was a point in life where children used to be taught how to really respect adults, never to talk back on adults, you know, and such like things. And I'm asking myself, there was once a documentary we were watching just from the same place, UK, yeah, and in these schools, kids were allowed to go with mobile phones. And another thing, the discipline level of the children in that school was non-existent. When teachers would try and teach, these kids would talk back to these teachers, you know. And I was telling myself, how about, I wish these kids could have an exchange program where they come to African schools and just get the feel of a classroom and how African children are taught, you know. But these ones, they literally have no fear of nothing, you know. So you're asking yourself, someone who does not have respect for their elders, someone who has no fear of any consequences whatsoever, what are these people capable of? Because it will get to a point where, I know there was a point where in UK, they used to have problems with knives and crimes that existed because of the same things. These are the type of children, to be quite honest, where you wouldn't be surprised if they walked around with such in their pockets. Because, and another question I have, I don't know if it was a school season or if they had closed schools, but children of that age, I do believe that they should be kept busy in order for them to not be idle and start thinking about participating in activities that they should not be participating in. They need to be kept busy, and their parents, while these kids are spending time at a bus stop harassing strangers, what are the parents doing? Right, and this is the reason why we say it all boils down to parenting. And if there is so much racism right now in the world, it began from somewhere, and these said adults watched their parents be exactly the same thing they have become in their adulthood. Those kids sounds like a bunch of frustrated kids, and like frustrations could literally come from anywhere, probably even beginning with their own parents and from how they hear their parents speak. But definitely they do sound like children who are frustrated, and something needs to be done about that. Definitely mental health needs to be checked, because I feel like some things in societies can be unavoidable. Like, for example, these kids, the road they're headed to, I feel like that can be avoided, and the victims that they'll create in their, you know, their path of destruction, also I feel like it's something that can be avoided. But definitely an intervention needs to come through. And if that is the kind of society like we live in, where you just watch children get rotten like that, I feel like we have no hope as a society. Because if you ask somebody, what did this one do to you to warrant such treatment? You know, just treat people like human beings, treat people the way you'd like to be treated, you know. And for children, I don't know that they have a conscience somewhere, and when you tap deep into that, they are all human. They can literally be decent human beings, but that's not gonna happen if there's no sort of guidance or nobody to just hold them accountable towards their action. I feel like the biggest thing that is lacking right now is that accountability and someone to hold them, you know, and the consequences that follow after after that. Right, because it was even perplexing to me when this woman was narrating her ordeal with the kids on the bicycle. And she said that grown-ups were there, grown-ups were seeing this situation play out, but nobody intervened, you know. And I feel like that is the difference between these Western countries and Africa. In Africa, you can rarely find kids misbehave like this towards a grown-up and other grown-ups just look at that kid or choose to not intervene, you know, depending on how serious the situation is. So it's very, very perplexing to me to see that even adults choose to stay out of it instead of saying something in support of this woman. Right, guys, let us know what you think about this on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, and we'll catch you on our next episode.